Welcome back to a mega-sized wrap-up show for Who Would Win Masters. Today we're breaking down the aftermath of our latest battle. We're opening the voting totals, clawing in your takes, and pulling those straight from Discord and our socials to see what you had to say. I am Sam Proof on all the socials, and we had a blast seeing all of your comments when we asked you who would win Godzilla vs. Ultraman. We're going to welcome back our guest debater, host of the Bad Movies We Love podcast. It's Nick Scheisse. Nick, welcome back. How's your week been?
Thank you for having me back. It's been a good week. I've been, working on some episodes that have been kind of in the chamber for a while. One of those was my episode with the gentleman right here on the screen with us.
Yeah, we'll get
Ray
to him in a second.
joined me for a discussion on Bone Lake.
Nice. How was the response from your audience on this classic, if you will? Yeah.
So far, so good. No complaints, and
Nice.
I'll take that as a positive every time.
Excellent. All right. Well,
That's
let's
weird.
bring
I
him
usually
in.
get a lot of complaints.
Yeah. Right. Well, like waiting for your cue. All right, brother. Welcome, of course, our resident battle master, a man who buys tiny little buildings to trample on them. It's Ray Stakenas. Welcome, Ray. That's how you get cued in.
I do have a love of miniatures. I've been a part of the Warhammer scene for a long
That's
time.
true. Yeah.
So buying little buildings, and I don't try not to trample on them, though. That does happen accidentally sometimes.
Right on. Well, it just gives you the opportunity to yell Godzilla at yourself, I suppose.
I like to sing that Blue Oyster Cult song. No, they say he's got to go, 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 Godzilla.
It's a good one.
And that is legally all we are allowed to quote before they come after us.
That is correct.
That's right.
I wish that Blue Oyster Cult had written a follow-up song, he's got 3 minutes to go. It's Ultraman. Like, that would have been pretty good.
Yeah, maybe they did, and it was just not as popular.
I mean, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
I just saw somebody enter the chat, heard me
I was
sing,
gonna say.
and now they've left the chat.
That's right.
That's how it can go right now. I want to shout out Guardian for being the first one to join us.
Yes, you too could join us in the chat, listen for a minute, and leave. If you were a member of the Patreon at patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters, you're under no obligation to sit through the torture. But you do have access
you showing up
to these episodes. Hello,
That's right.
Guardian, if you're still out there. And to my cat.
There it is.
Perfect timing. All right, let's just jump into it and get in some of these reviews. Yeah? Okay, great. Thanks,
That's
Kat.
right.
I'll
Kitty's
start us off.
excited.
She is. Our first review comes from Ping Pong Guy 2, titled Freaking Awesome. Thank you for keeping it classy. Great podcast, guys. By the way, the battle my son and daughter want to see is Aang, Last Airbender, and Elsa from Frozen 2. I think that's pretty solid. I feel like Elsa
That's fascinating.
takes that.
Why is it Elsa only from Frozen 2? That's what I want to know.
She's more powerful, right? Like, that's the better version of Elsa. Like, she's got her stuff together.
She's got a lot going on in that
more
first
or less. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think
she just create like an entire empire and bathes an entire continent in snow. That's nothing to sneeze at.
But it's accidental. In 2, she's got the finesse
though?
and well, maybe. I mean, can she just
I don't know.
can she just do the Bruce Banner, hit me? All right, now I got it. Now everything's ice.
I like that. I think so. What do you think, Nick? Where would you go with that?
I mean, that's interesting. I haven't seen Frozen 2, so it's tough for me to weigh in on her power scaling in the second film. But yeah, an elemental battle, I think, is always fun.
I think we have a certain age consider these Disney sequels, and we kind of see them like a bunch of these Cinderella 2 or all these things that nobody asked for. They went straight to video. I will say right now, and this is a bold take, maybe not, Frozen 2 is essential viewing to see Frozen. Frozen 2 is an excellent movie, and it's like the other half of the story. It's as if Frozen 1 is just the halfway point of the overall arc. And it really takes Frozen 2 to bring the whole thing together. I'll say that out loud.
It is a solid film, and it definitely does justice. Yeah. Guardian in the chat says that's a really good matchup.
The Frozen 2 fan club.
Yes.
That's right.
And stick around for the closing credits to hear Josh Gad blow out the title track that his character does not sing. I
Sweet.
get
That's
super
fantastic.
excited. I'm gonna tell you right now, I get super excited. That is one man and one song that just is electric. He absolutely goes nuts in that song vocally and just crushes it. And what made me so mad was we had Frozen 2 on a couple of years ago, and we had the in-laws over, and yeah, I'll throw them under the bus. And so we're sitting there, Frozen 2 has just ended, and the Josh Gad rendition of Into the Unknown starts playing over the closing credits. And I am just like into it. I am just like, oof, yeah, this is a very talented man given a very difficult piece, and he is crushing it. And then the stepfather-in-law sitting on the other side, like 1 minute into it, is I am just jamming. I am grooving. And all of a sudden I just hear him, he's like, and I'm like, you can go straight to HE double hockey stick, sir. What is wrong with you? Oh, I don't like the way he sings this. I say, you. I gave it to him in the moment. I said, this is treasure. And how dare you disrespect it? Anyway, I didn't think this was going to be the Frozen 2 episode to what Nick was just saying, but it is. Welcome to the Frozen 2 episode. Here we are.
Yeah, we're throwing out all of the Godzilla Ultraman stuff. We're just going to be talking Elsa, Anna, and Olaf.
What say you, fellow Disney kids?
Let's move on. I think you have, there's one more review.
We do. We got two reviews. The second one is from Snappy Seth 23, and I appreciate you, Snappy Seth. Thank you for being a part of it. Guardian here says every episode is a Frozen 2 episode if you try hard enough. And I'm trying. Right. Some of these hooks are very low-hanging fruit, though, to my emotions. But Snappy Seth 23 says, love it. That's the title of the review. So 5 stars. One of the most reliable podcasts I've ever listened to. If you're a fan of the concept, you'll never be disappointed. I just wish there was more Star Trek. Where's Commander Data? It's a great question. Commander Data, very strong.
What's a good Data versus opponent?
I don't even remember. We did a Data versus episode in the previous iteration, and I have no memory of who his opponent was. Somebody at home it's like their favorite episode, and they're yelling at the screen right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Oh, Ollie Lowe. Welcome, Ollie Lowe. Welcome here. Data versus Shredder. See, I knew one of the fans could pick me up in the chat right away. Really? Data versus Shredder, and I took Shredder, and I was not happy with the way that episode flowed and came together. I think it's because I lost, but I don't think I should have lost. I was going super Shredder. I was going nuts in that battle, and it just sadly was not enough. And Ollie also says, I think every franchise fan thinks their franchise doesn't get enough representation.
Sure.
Ain't that the case? We've been going with a lot of anime and Japanese-inspired characters over the last 2 months. I don't know if you've noticed, but
Yes.
I hope that those people are showing up, and I hope those people are telling their friends to show up. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, it's good for fandoms. I was listening to I did listen to the James Bond versus Solid Snake one recently, and then that was Ollie. Hey, Ollie. And the other one was recently the Speed Racer versus Don Toretto, which is a very, very fun listen.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed both those battles a lot. Look, I think every single battle, even if it's with characters, and I say this all the time, we try to curate for people. We're not just going to give you, Goku versus Superman every week. We're not trying to just be absolutely the most banal Beast versus Beast Boy. Like, oh, they both have the word Beast in their name. That'll be a good battle. We're not trying to be that vapid and vacant in our heads. We're trying to challenge people a little bit, give them a different take on what we do here, and actually have a lot of fun with it, and not just carbon copy what everybody else is doing. So, even if you don't know the character, give it a try anyway. One, you're going to learn about the character. Maybe you'll find a new favorite in there. And two, we're not giving you a character who's going to suck. We're not going to give you a character who will be bad on the show. We've been doing this long enough. We know what we're doing. To quote Sledgehammer, trust me, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Ollie in the chat says there's probably Marvel DC fans who think they don't get enough love on this show. I mean,
ain't that the case?
In a universe where there's that many characters, sure, to scale that makes sense. But I think what we do brilliantly is give that mix of every fandom gets gets their time in the sun, and I think we do it real well.
We try really hard to, I try not to lean on. We give a lot of leeway to our guest debaters. I don't really like shutting down their first, second, or third ideas. Sometimes you have to, because they're just going a little bit too niche, too obscure. And,
Sure.
we have to still be appealing to a mass audience at the end of the day. So you get Godzilla with Nick, for example,
Right.
And you look at the next battle that we have on tap right here. I will say right now, it's going to lean a little bit nichey in one direction. But I'm going to say out loud, it could have been a lot more niche. And so we had to sort of try to step up that just a little bit. And that's great.
I don't know.
I think next week's battle is going to be exciting, but we'll talk about that at the end.
Great. Yeah.
I'm very excited for it. Let me just say that.
Nice.
But that's going to lead us where, Sam Proof?
I am ready. We're gonna get into the polls. We're gonna give the people what they want. We are gonna start with, of course, as always, the Mortalverse poll. So our good friend Matthew Dawson, who runs the Mortalverse audio drama podcast, has his own Discord server where they, every battle, do a fan vote. So this is unofficial.
Okay.
This is just how the fans voted before they knew who was repping who and before they heard the episode at all. So it was just a blind, cold query, if you will.
This is like the odds makers. This is Vegas right here, setting the line.
Right. This is Vegas setting the line. So here we go.
Before the prediction makers are in, All right, with 83% to 17%, the winner is Godzilla.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is a precursor. A little taste of
studio audience approves
of the niche audience. Yeah, there you go. But that is not.
There we go.
That's not what matters. The one that matters is the official Patreon poll, where our own members, free or paid, get to vote every battle. Patreon.com/who-would-win-masters. And here are the results for Godzilla vs. Ultraman. With 65% to 35%, the winner is Godzilla.
Yeah.
Congratulations. There you go, Nick. Look at that.
Oh, man. We got some Whispers of Dawn playing. That's how excited the chat is. Oh, man. All right, that's enough of that. People wanted more Whispers of Dawn. What can I tell you?
There you go.
Big favor.
Yes, that was my birthday Godzilla.
I
don't think I've seen the poll results for the Whispers of Dawn.
Oh, we could talk about that briefly if you'd
like to. We did. That is a poll that happened.
That is a poll that did, in fact, happen because, and if you remember last week's wrap-up, we asked the question of our Patreon, which song wins is what we asked. As heard on the latest wrap-up, we need to know, do you prefer the long version of the email song or do you prefer Whispers of Dawn? This was a very hotly contested topic.
Yeah.
So you know what? If I can get this working again right here, chances are good I can't.
Great.
Oh, there we go. The answer is the long version of the email song. 78% Whispers of Dawn, a mere 22%, ladies and gentlemen. And that deserves,
that's craziness.
People are showing up for the long version of the email song, and I'm here for it.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, I think they should.
All right, well, on that note, the Whispers of Dawn note, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to get into the comments in just a second. I just had a quick question for Nick. Now, you repped the old school Godzilla in the show on the podcast here. What are your top 3 Godzillas? Like monsters, not
the monster design itself.
Yes, yeah, design wise.
In no particular order, Shin Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
Godzilla Returns or Godzilla 1985, whichever one you want to call it, based on its regional release. And then I like the MonsterVerse one, and I like the original MonsterVerse one and the new -1 design.
Yeah,
but
sure.
in I think those are like really good designs, but in terms of like my favorite, I love the one from Godzilla versus Mothra, which is like 1963.
Okay. Sure.
He's got like angry eyebrows, and it's like a very pissed off, just mean looking Godzilla, and I kind of like that meaner look. And it's a little bit more it's a little bit more niche in that he doesn't maintain that suit for very long before they switch to the more large-eyed sort of goofy Godzilla as it begins to get a little bit beyond that.
Okay.
I'll jump into, I think I go with, my favorite Godzilla. And I think, honestly, I think this is going to be the number one most people would agree with, which is 1998's Matthew Broderick Godzilla. I think that's the one that people can rally around.
Serious?
They love that movie, and they really consider that the definitive Godzilla.
That is Chin Godzilla.
Is that Chin?
There it is.
Okay.
See, Chin Godzilla. Yeah, I learned a new term every day. That's crazy.
Guardian says Zilla for the win. I love me
Zilla for the win.
Just for the design, the minus Godzilla, because of the light up chase and the blast are just so good. But
see, I never have seen Godzilla -1, but everybody tells me it's a life-changing event, and now I'm worried it's going to be like,
too much. It's been
one of these movies that I've been hyped up too much on. That what I'm going to see, it's going to be good, but it won't change my life, and so I'll end up being a little sad at the end.
I mean, that's fair. I think that's always kind of like the risk with really hyped up films. I'll say this though, like as a lifelong Godzilla fan that had watched all of this stuff leading up until -1 and then getting to see -1 in theaters, I was still blown away by how not only like how good it was, like how much there's like quality filmmaking, but also how it finds a way to really like honor the original series and the original version of the character from 1953, and still like after 70 years of history, after 35 movies, still find a new story to tell in there is very, very difficult to do, but it does it in a very enjoyable way. And the Godzilla part of it itself is also like very badass Godzilla stuff, which is great.
Dude, that's great.
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
everybody tell me, look, I haven't had a single person be like -1, ugh. Unlike the rendition of Josh Gad's Into the Unknown from the Frozen 2 closing credits, I have yet to hear anybody talk disrespectfully about Godzilla -1.
That's good.
But but I mean, it's heresy apparently.
Guardian says, I hate Godzilla as a hero, so it was refreshing to see him as a natural disaster again. Yes.
And Guardian, I'm sure agrees. 1998's
observation.
Godzilla 2000, I think we called it. Was probably is obviously the best one. There we go. Ollie says he made the decision to rewatch 1998 Godzilla again over the weekend, and that was indeed a choice. See? Everyone agrees it's the best Godzilla.
It's the only Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. So
really? Yeah, exactly.
Got it going for it.
The only thing that could be better is a Godzilla with Hugh Jackman. I think we can all agree.
Oh,
yeah, and then it could be Godzilla the musical.
Thank you. This is all I want. I just want Broadway stars and Godzilla.
It's fantastic.
And little baby Godzillas all around like Madison Square Garden's bathrooms. That's all I want out of a movie. And 1998 Godzilla offers that in spades.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time till we get Godzilla the musical and Ollie's on board, Guardian's on board. All right, let's get some investors, everybody.
That's right.
Godzilla the musical.
5 tickets sold already.
That's it.
Nice.
I'm in. Let's go. Well, we got some comments right here. We actually had quite a few comments this week, which I really do appreciate. I appreciate everybody who's going to go on. We call these from Patreon, from Discord. If I see any on YouTube or Instagram, I'll take those as well. But primarily, they're going to be coming off of the Discord and the Patreon. That's where we're going to look first and foremost, and that's where we're going to see it. I'm going to start with Ollie Lowe. Ollie Lowe's batting leadoff, and he's in our chat right now. He says, I did enjoy this battle. And although I wasn't aware of much about Ultraman before this, I did at least know something about Godzilla. Well, yeah. The first kaiju in the room, I'm sorry, whether it's in the character or not, outside interference is outside interference. Yeah. So that should be taken off the table. No, instead of the first big elephant in the room, it's the first kaiju in there. There you go. The second point is the 3-minute timer. Yeah, right. Let's see. As Ray was quite unclear about how long the recharge takes or even the circumstances, well, that can't be true. I cannot have muddied the water on that during the debate for my own benefit. That doesn't sound like me at all. I can only draw the conclusion that it is not something that's going to favor Ultraman in any way.
Right.
And I don't think Ultraman does it in a first encounter in 3 minutes. So yeah, Godzilla. I guess. Wow. Backdoor Godzilla victory.
That's right.
Who knew?
For Ultraman to recharge, does he have to go into space? What is the situation there?
It's really nebulous in the series. That's the thing is sometimes you have a situation where he needs 24 hours before he can power up again. Sometimes sometimes they don't really worry about the timer and he just fights for an extended amount of time. Sometimes he's just back up and fighting again, like in very short. It really just depends on
backup. I'm good.
Yeah, it's just about what the story needs. They don't really care about their own mythology and keeping current about it. It's very much up in the air based on who's telling the story.
Yeah.
From what I read,
I think that definitely works against you in a lot of ways. All right, moving on. Ryan Sangalang, I hope I said that even close to right, says, I believe the neutral location should have no military involvement because it is an outside interference and giving assistance to one side. My vote goes to Godzilla because of the battle style of getting up close and personal on hand-to-hand combat. I can see Ultraman trying to judo chop Godzilla with his hand, but it'll just get caught. Then Ultraman will try to judo. This is confusing. Will try to judo chop with the other hand, thus getting grabbed again. Then, while Godzilla holds both of Ultraman's hands, Godzilla does a lot of hand holding. Godzilla would power up and shoot a powerful atomic blast right into the face of Ultraman, ending his career.
I thought I made a pretty good point about those blasts not really working on Ultraman, right? Like I thought that was like a major one of my points, but people apparently did not pick that up in the debate. So
Ultraman is described as indestructible, right? Like his skin is like you can't damage him, right? But then when you watch his fights, like he takes damage from energy attacks and from lightning and from other things. So I think, like he's not dying on the inside, but he can be stunned from those kinds of attacks.
No, dying on the inside would be me hearing those poll results a moment ago.
That's about right.
Say that. We got Forbidden Mob. Forbidden Mob, one of our absolute favorite patrons. Thank you so much, Forbidden Mob, for commenting. He says 10 out of 10 episode on the Richter scale, I think is what he means. Category 5 level of monstrous proportions. To be honest, I'm a fan of Godzilla. Ultraman, I've seen a bit here and there. I was a bit worried going into this that Ultraman's maneuverability and combat IQ plus flying would get the king of the monsters in the end, but as I listen to this debate, Nick won me over. The Rocky comparison fits. Godzilla has the heart, the toughness, and the adaptability to win. Godzilla beats harder kaiju.
Real well.
He runs them, yeah. And then puts his hands up in the air like a sand person about to hit Luke with
Cardio is important in the fight game.
Especially if you're a kaiju, yeah. Multiple ones by himself. He has experience defeating foes with flight abilities. Having the military help Ultraman is just another walk in the park for old Zilla. I also believe Ultraman would need to recharge in space, but isn't that battlefield removal? Well, it depends if it's for 2 minutes, I guess, Even if it's not Godzilla, Godzilla is too experienced, too adaptable, and just incredibly tough. Sorry, Ray. Zilla wins, but it would be super close. Y'all were amazing. Also, I'm with Ray. A rematch with newer versions would be phenomenal. There's a lot of cool crossovers for both characters versus DC and Marvel. Nick, you are the Giant Slayer, dude. Well done. Come back soon. Ray, you'll get the next one, I'm sure. Well, I hope so. I don't like losing multiple battles in a row. That starts making me... crack my mirror a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, Godzilla does sort of put brand recognition and fan power on my side. Like Ultraman, I think, is the harder guy to argue because even in the older series, there's a lot of different Ultramans that are involved in that TV show. And so it's like more or less, even though like Godzilla does die a couple times, like in the Showa era, he dies in the very first one. And then it's basically the same version of Godzilla, a little bit different here and there. Whereas like there's a lot of differences between the multiple Ultramans and the way that they fight. I mean, they're all kind of similar, but yeah.
Well, that was one thing. I didn't know a ton about Ultraman coming into the battle when we kind of started talking about it and putting it together. But finding out that Godzilla and Ultraman, who I assumed were part of the same shared universe, to find out that they were not was really a big selling point for me in that I know that both are a pretty big deal and a lot of fun. And so I didn't know as much about Ultraman, the 3 minutes and some of this other stuff, but I'm still very happy that we went ahead and made this happen. And, maybe I was up against it with Godzilla being a super strong foe. I'm happy to see Godzilla take a win here. If that's what the people decide, then that's what's up. We did our best with it.
Me too. And obviously, I love Ultraman. I got the Ultraman shirt on right now on top
Nice.
of my Godzilla shirt.
There it is.
Because I love both of these characters. They were both like big part of my childhood. I think if the fan base for this show had a large Japanese contingent, this may have swung the other way, because I think the more hardcore you are about both franchises, the more detail you have about how the fight would go down. And I think, as much as I don't want to like rescind my position on Godzilla, Ultraman probably wins, given like the totality of Ultraman.
Wow. We got a comment coming up in just a little bit that's going to talk about some of the specifics on that, but we'll get there in just a moment.
Cool.
But yeah, I think you're making some great points right now. It was my job to convince the people who maybe were coming in against me to begin with, and obviously they did not agree. So it is what it is, What you got for us, Sam?
Here's one of those people right now. This is from Cam Sully, who simply put says, Nick decimated. That's it.
There it is.
It just lays
Thanks,
it out.
Cam.
There you go.
Much appreciated.
Cam does not believe in being verbose with his comments. I'll say that.
Succinct. He's in.
So we'll move forward. We got Lord Snurts. Hi, Lord Snurts. He says, I was searching for flags like a football field referee while listening to this show. Flag on the play. Illegitimate outside interference argument by Ray. Lose 5 points, but repeat the round. Ultraman recharging. Flag on the play. Battlefield removal. Nick didn't capitalize and waived the penalty, but Nick did a good job sticking to the specific line of attack, even if he let Ray get away with stretching the rules. How dare you, sir? I do not stretch the rules. I use them to my advantage.
I will say that probably as the person giving the initial decision, the host, I don't think I said anything too specifically about the outside interference. And, we could have made an initial ruling for the jury to ignore that. But to me, it seemed like there might as well have just been mosquitoes there. Like, it was such a minor distraction that I didn't feel like it really warranted a ruling.
Well, yeah, and I think unlike previous iterations and other variations of this show, we let the people decide. So I really think it's up to the people to police themselves and ask, does that hold true? Does that work for you? And, if we're not going to come out and just have like somebody bring in like all their friends. If I'm fighting Batman in a battle and suddenly Robin, Nightwing, all these other folks just show up and start wailing on me, well, the people they're going to sniff that out and they're not going to be happy about it. Right. But as far as I think there was a very legitimate point to be made because of what in Godzilla's own universe. That's a thing that does happen all the time. So I think while we do, and I said in the battle, outside interference is not allowed, but we have to at least factor in the probability of this happening.
Yeah.
And I stick to that point, even though we do understand we have a no outside interference rule on the show.
Yeah, I do think
next time I'll bring the penalty flags.
There you go.
I was going to say, I do think with those two characters that technically Tokyo is a neutral location, honestly, in a lot of ways.
That's great.
But
and
to
Matt,
follow
what's
up,
interesting is, yeah,
I was going to say, to follow up on Snurts' comment, Matthew Dawson comes to us with Ray's outside interference flag should be canceled out by Nick going past the buzzer so egregiously.
So there you go. There you go. There's a flag on both. That's offsetting penalties.
I mean, I think really
I
that
was
just
told
comes down
that
to
if I go
we're
past
good
the
hosts.
buzzer, it was okay within reason.
Yeah,
there you go. Apparently, according to Matthew Dawson, now he does judge our guest debaters very harshly. He found it egregious.
Well, thank you, Matt. It was the one time though, and I was like, granted, it was over, but I heard the buzzer and I was like, okay, if you're not going to tell me to stop, like I will just finish my thought right there and go the few seconds over. But on the military thing, yeah, exactly. Like, give me an inch, I'll take a mile. But on the military side of things, I think Well, it is outside interference. I think also to your point, Ray, like the military will be there. Like they're there when Ultraman's there for the most part too. Like Ultraman sort of works directly with the military. But one of the best things about watching all of that Showa era Godzilla is that the military is always involved, even though like it's futile every time, but they get this like incredible original score from Ifukube. And the Japanese military march music in Godzilla is amazing. And it's like just like this montage of them like trying in vain to stop Godzilla. And it's always one of my favorite parts of the soundtrack because it's like in my head, I see the montage of the military trying and like not being able to do anything.
That's great. Yeah. I mean, it's a common theme, and I'm glad that we talked about it because, yeah, well, not necessarily the letter of the law. I think the spirit of the law, it definitely applies. Yeah. But let me read here Matthew Dawson's actual comment because that was just a comment two snurts I thought was worthy of inclusion. Matthew Dawson says, I appreciate that the Showa era of Godzilla got some love. It's by far the goofiest era of Godzilla, full of radioactive flight and drop kicks that defy gravity. I think what sealed the deal against Ray is something he said after one of the points. Those 3 minutes really sneak up on you. Though, of course, he was talking about the debate timer. The same thing could also apply, absolutely, to Ultraman when fighting the most powerful kaiju he's ever come across.
There you go.
It's fair enough.
Well put. Well put. Moving on. Lord Moxford says, I cannot believe the blatant disrespect for Ray and Ultraman. In what should have been a cut and dry decision for Ultraman was an offensively biased outcome that leaned more on stardom than facts. That's right. Big Hollywood star Godzilla. Godzilla's atomic breath won't work. They're evenly matched in strength. Ultraman beats him with strategy, brains, and skill. 3 minutes. Ultraman beat kaijus in 3 minutes on a weekly basis, and this match should have been no different. Hashtag Ray was robbed. Hashtag more dough for bread. Oh my God, there's too many. Hashtag hey Sam, hope life is treating you well. Pizza tables are pretty nifty. What is that?
I personally don't see them
utilized enough. I'm going to read the next hashtag and then come back to that. Hashtag Sam's Decision Song is an absolute banger. Long email song, not so much. Thanks a lot, Box.
Wow, shots fired.
Okay,
whoa.
Here's the deal with plastic pizza tables. Those have basically been phased out as the rise of corrugated cardboard has taken over pizza boxes, and they're no longer just flimsy pieces of thick paper anymore. So yeah, you're right. Which is why
that's why they need to advertise.
Had to sponsor, had to advertise with us because they need to.
We got to get back in the game.
They gotta buy up a
perfect size
flimsy pizza
for these
box
two
company.
guys right here.
There you go.
See, there they are.
Oh,
Ultraman and Godzilla make a shot on the feed. Let's go. Is he wearing a party hat? What was that? That was amazing.
He is.
Yeah, he's got a little birthday hat on.
I love that. Yeah. We got a few more comments here. That's it. Guardian, hey, you're here in the chat. Another outstanding episode. I have all the love for Godzilla and came into this giving Godzilla the advantage. But based on the points made, I'm going to have to switch to Team Ultraman, smart guy, at least for this matchup. There's plenty of ways that either of these combatants could put the other down for at least 2 minutes, but Nick offered little pushback versus the military and the free recharge. Godzilla retreats into the sea to heal. Ultraman wins through battlefield removal. See, I know I like that Guardian. I know I like the way that.
Oh, so that's a technicality, though. Ultraman leaves the planet to recharge, but Godzilla going to the ocean means he loses?
Well, I think Ultraman comes back within 2 minutes so it avoids the battlefield removal, but Godzilla leaves for like 3 months. So
he goes to sleep.
Counts.
Okay.
I think that counts.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to be groggy, so whatever. All right.
Take a nap at the bottom of the ocean.
Wait till Kong hears about this. Eric Hiding says, great battle. It was a lot of fun to listen to, almost as much fun as the Daredevil vs. Killer Croc episode will be for this summer. If someone is going to take on Godzilla, it's got to be someone who takes on these type of things normally, like Ultraman. He has a lot going for him and has different ways to accomplish his goals. However, like it was said, all of this was a response to Godzilla in the first place. Also, the whole military thing is totally outside interference. That's the first I've heard of this. I think if we saw this in a movie, Godzilla would be the big baddie, and we'll all know what happens at the beginning of the movie compared to the end. The bad guy wins at the the bad guy wins at the beginning, and the good guy comes out on top at the end. This means Godzilla would be the winner in a first encounter. We got there. We got there.
See that?
I'm sorry, Eric.
See-
It took a minute.
I will say right now, I knew when I was going to
Fair.
bring it onto the table that the outside interference army point would ruffle some people and would definitely get some reactions.
Clearly.
Can I tell you? I won't tell you which battle it was, but an earlier battle this season, our guest debater came in, and his point number 3 was literally about how the allies and the friends of their character would absolutely join the fight and help overturn. And I had to stop them. This didn't make the show, but I personally had to stop them and say, hey, dude, I know that you put a lot into this, and I don't want to be that guy, but if you come with your big point number 3 being nothing but outside interference, you're going to get excoriated in every single one of our chats, and you're going to lose this 100-0. You have to, and I know you did a ton of research, but you got to try to find a different point to make, because if that's your final point number 3, you're going to get annihilated, and you will have deserved it.
Now, I will say,
it's nice that your voters respect that and have. I could have used them during the debate to throw those flags and tell me, like, Nick, stand up for yourself.
That's fair. Maybe
I was
one
relying
day
on
we'll
Sam.
do a live.
Oh, don't do that.
Oh, no, see, I won't. I'm not going to say anything until it's all over. Yeah, one day we'll do it in front of a live audience, and they can just yell, like, faulty, full, yes.
Oh,
right.
Give them all whistles.
We get booked on like a Comic-Con or something like that, and we do a live version of this show. I guarantee there's going to be at least a half dozen people who show up as referees, dressed as full NFL referee regalia and flags and whistles, and they will be hot. They will be ready to go.
That is the designated cosplay of our show. I do want to say
I'm
that.
going to bring a big bucket full of flags and hand them out.
Yeah,
that's right.
Nice. It is my mission to one day have the Beastmaster on as a character, and we're going to have to throw that rule out for him because he's going to have some ferrets, dang it.
Well, look, summoners are a different thing, because it's not outside interference if your main power is to summon help. And so, when we did the Ash Ketchum battle in the previous iteration, Ash Ketchum got to use 3 Pokemon, 1 per round. It seemed like the fair way to go, and that's how Pokemon works. That doesn't, it made it more about the Pokemans than it did about Ash himself. But who is Ash beating in a fight? Nobody.
Yeah. Not even the kids at his school. It's like that backwards hat ain't going to save you, Ash.
That's it. Yeah. So you got to, make that happen. Anyway, we got one more here. We got William Schmidt, the guru, the great champion, 1 seed of our summer tournament. He says, great battle again this week. Both combatants, I knew that guy was smart. Both combatants are incredibly powerful and legends in their own rights. That being said, these are the points that swayed my decision. 1, the military is definitely outside interference. Seeing a theme here. And I knew it. I knew it when I said it, that some people that were going to be real sticklers are not going to go with the spirit. But Nick agrees, just for the record, and he had the most to lose by having that go through. And he 100% agrees, even now. So sorry, everybody. And it should not be considered in the decision. Shame on you, Ray. Wow, I got a shame on you. Number 2, Ray mentioned Ultraman flying away to space to recharge the capsule, but that would likely trigger battlefield removal. We've heard that before, too. 3, the big one. Some sources say that recharging the Ultra and Beta capsules requires 20 hours. Others state that it's quote-unquote between battles. Either way, I don't see Ultraman getting that kind of time in this battle. It seems Ultraman would only have about 3 minutes to beat Godzilla, and I think it was pretty unanimous that it would be a much longer fight. I'm going along with Sam on this decision and giving it to Godzilla with death by squishy after the capsule runs out of juice, and Ultraman reverts to his human form. Congratulations on a solid victory, Nick. There he is.
Awesome. Thank you. Squishy sounds painful.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get squishy. I'll say that right now. Not with a kaiju involved.
No.
Sounds absolutely tragic. But those are all your comments. Obviously, you can find wherever you can find us. You can go to patreon.com/who would win masters, which is what I encourage you. It's free, not a free trial. I'll say it again. A free membership that we're going to give you like 95% of what's available. You could vote. You don't have to be a paid member to do this. If you are listening to my voice right now and you have not gone and joined the Patreon, I can only suggest you do it. Be more involved in the show. We'd love to read your comments, get your voice heard, get your vote counted. All of that is important to the show, and we want to keep growing that up and going. And Discord's the other one. We pull some stuff off of Discord as well. But even if you just follow us on the Instagram at Who Would Win Masters, that's huge. That helps us out a ton. If you see one of our posts, it doesn't matter what the post is, just like it. If you see anything that I do come across your feed in any way, on any form, on any platform, like it before you even see it. Make me one of those commitments in your life.
Like it, comment
because we all have those.
Send it around the office.
There's people and shows that I follow on social media on a bunch of different platforms, and anytime I see them post literally anything at all, I don't even watch it. I hit like, I hit favorite, I hit whatever, and then I watch it, because that's what you need to do. If you're really messing with us, if you're really into what we're doing here, that's the type of support that we're looking for, and we appreciate you for it. Have I shilled enough? No.
Yeah, I need to upgrade my salesmanship tactics.
No, you got to practically get on your knees and beg for these things. And I will tell you right now, I'm still sitting on this copy of Low Rollers, which is, I have one of maybe 5 DVDs that I know about. And this was the no budget screwball, gross out, offensive comedy movie that was made for very little budget. And I play one of the ensemble characters of it. It's about the villainous, terrible world of underground marbles tournaments. And I want to show it, but I'm telling you right now, we want to get to that 75 number, and we're about 10 short right now. So if you're listening to this and you have not joined, I want you to join so you can come to movie night and we can watch Low Rollers together and watch me do and say terribly offensive things. It's going to be an absolute hoot.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to be right back with email, but now it's time for a break.
Now, there's been a lot of controversy.
What? Yeah,
about this email song.
Clearly.
People love it, and some people pretend not to love it. That's essentially what I get out of it.
That's not a thing.
And I think, do we want the long version or the short version this week? We've had people with the hashtags wanting the long version, and I think if people hear it one more time, I think this is the one that's really going to win people over. Nick, you can tell us right now. Here is the email song from Who Would Win Masters.
Let's hear from the community. Reading emails is our destiny. You've got a voice, you got something to say, and we're gonna read them, 'cause it's annoying to read. Now it's time to end this song before it gets to be way too long to do anymore. We just prolong this intro, which would be wrong. It's Who Would Win Masters. Email time. It's Who Would Win Masters. Email time.
Wow. I feel the power every time we play it. Nick, how do you feel in this moment?
Do people actually think that that's bad? Is my question.
This shocks me whenever somebody even implies it.
I mean, yeah, it rocks. And for what's a parody song, I mean, it goes pretty hard.
Thank you. Yep, I agree completely, and I'm a fan. Now, unfortunately, we don't have any emails this week.
What?
No, that's
Is that right?
no, that's not true. No, we have an email from a different
All
person than usual.
What?
That's right.
Okay.
Ali Lowe, hit up whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. If you want to join in and guarantee an email song gets played, you send us an email of your comments
That's
or
how we do
whatever
it. Okay.
to whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com. We own it. We use it. I read it. Well, okay, Sam reads it. He tells me when somebody writes. It's what happens. It's very exciting. But this email's from Ali Lowe, who joined us earlier. And he said, if you get 2 emails, does it mean you play the email song twice? Well, Ali.
Hello, Ali.
Let's hear from the
I just want to
No,
say
we're not going to play the whole
no,
thing again, but
I
that
just
would
want
have
to
been
say that
absolutely amazing.
Ollie, first person of our Discord, aside from me, of course, because I'm always there, to level up to level 10. And Ollie, that kind of thinking, you might not see level 11. That's all I'm saying.
Man, that
All
is
right.
harsh but fair, Sam Proof. That's all I'm going to say about that. We do have some Discord versus battle suggestions, so I want to talk to y'all about this. And someone who's I had not seen in there before, which is Mastarain Forever, who's I believe a newer member of the Discord, which is very exciting to me. They suggest we should do a month battle of sidekicks, sidekick versus sidekick. For example, Grogu, Baby Yoda versus Batgirl, or I'm drawing a blank on other sidekicks, but you get my drift.
Honestly, that's a great idea. I was just thinking something similar. People that are not powered, like Jimmy Olsen, because you would really have to, I think, put your thinking cap on and find a strategic way for some of the sort of more boring sidekicks to actually get involved. But I think it's a good idea.
I think there's some meat on this bone.
Sure.
Baby Yoda versus Batgirl's tough because, Baby Yoda has the powers, but isn't always the most aggressive. And Batgirl will think of a strategy, to make that happen, But Guardian, who's here in the chat right now, actually stepped up on Discord and he had his own suggestions. What about Ned Hobgoblin versus Nightwing? Interesting.
Sure.
Or Eoric Bjornsson from his Dark Materials versus Huihivar from the Legend of Drizzt series. Animal companions are sidekicks too. LOL. I don't know about any of that. Is that a horse? Guardian, you're here. You got to give us some more information because that is well over my head. I don't read, pretty famously, but I do like watching things.
I am familiar with Drizzt and that it exists, and that's about it.
But
yes,
we bowed to public pressure and we did a Drizzt de Erden on the original incarnation of the Who Would Win show.
All right.
And that episode went over very well. Oh, it's an armored polar bear versus a panther. You're speaking my message, Guardian. Yeah, you're speaking my message. I love it.
All right. I dig that.
Anyway, Sam, what else you got? We got some other matchups here that
Matthew Dawson says the superior Spider-Man from Marvel versus the Batman Who Laughs from DC.
Okay.
It's pretty good. I don't know. Is the superior Spider-Man super powerful? I don't know that iteration very well.
Yeah, I don't know these.
Batman Who Laughs is like a god, isn't he? Am I crazy? I bought that. You know what? I bought that graphic novel. I bought the hardcover version of the. It's not hardcover. I'm faking it with you. I'm lying right now. It's not the hardcover, but I bought the paperback version of the trade.
The trade paperback.
The trade paperback of the Batman Who Laughs. And because, as I mentioned earlier, I have not read it yet, but I own it, and I think that's one step in the good direction.
Guardian in the chat says it's Doc Ock in Spider-Man's body.
That's pretty strong.
Spider-Man. That's interesting.
I think I have heard of that now that you mentioned it.
I think in Batman Who Laughs, it's like that Batman killed the Justice League from another universe and kind of went insane in the process. The darkest, most lethal version of Batman.
Okay. I mean, here's the deal. I'm interested. I mean, look, the cover is awesome looking. That character looks incredible, and so I'm here for it. So
okay.
Have you ever done fatal 4-way or triple threat matches?
We have not, because typically it's a one-on-one type of an environment. It would get a little out of control. The battle would go very long if we started adding
that's fair.
An extra 3 rounds in or times 2 to do a sort of fatal 4-way. There's a few things we've tried to lean away from. We'll do team battles, of this team versus that team or, what have you. But I would be concerned about show length if we're rocking out some of these hour 35 episodes. I don't know who's going to tune in for that.
Yeah,
I think those are the people that
just keep it
listen to my show
and figure a way to make that work. Yeah,
that's right. I had a host of suggestions after listening to one of your episodes, but we'll save that for another time.
Gotcha.
Ollie Lowe has a one here. He says, I know Kratos was just used a few weeks back, but I've been playing God of War, following it. And how do we think Kratos does against this gauntlet from Marvel? Basic comic book versions for the Marvel characters, but old man Kratos from the 2018 God of War and Ragnarok with the weapons from those games. Kratos gets a full heal after every 3 rounds. So we'll do this 3 at a time, right?
Okay.
Wolverine, Colossus, The Thing. Does
Mhm.
Kratos get through that back to back to back? The crazy thing is, I think
Oh,
Wolverine gives him the
God.
hardest battle and all that because of the healing
Yeah.
factor.
hmm
I think Kratos
Yeah.
clears that first 3. What do y'all think?
I mean, the thing is, like, if Wolverine has taken him down a peg, right, and he hasn't healed by the time he gets to the
Mhm.
thing, that's close. But yeah, he might get
It's
out of
tough.
that.
I feel like he's fought rock monsters before and
Sure.
maybe would have an advantage there with some sort of smashing implement against the Thing. I don't know. Nick, what are you feeling?
I mean, he's fought like significantly larger beings, has
True.
he not?
Yeah.
And has done okay strength wise. So it's tough to like scale 100%. But I mean, like he is the god of war, and I mean, given the circumstances, like if they all exist in the same universe, I would, if they were all sort of villains in the story of his game, right? Like Wolverine probably still is the hardest fight because Wolverine comes with weapons attached, like lethal weapons and a massive healing factor, so he's going to be the hardest to put down. I've just seen like Colossus and the Thing lose to other like strong beings as well
Sure.
before, so that's a little tough.
It's tough. So let's assume he gets through that first set. The next trifecta
All right.
is She-Hulk, Gladiator, and then Hulk. It's going to be tough. I think She-Hulk and Gladiator wear him down really hard. I don't know if he gets through Hulk only
Hulk
because
feels
he
like a
has to fight
stopping
those other
point.
2 first.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
I
He's got to
mean,
heal too, so he only
right.
gets. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
handicap match. I don't know if he makes it out of the first bracket then.
Yeah. And
right.
then,
That's
and
what I
then the
was saying
final
is when
3,
he gets to the Thing, but
he's going to be
definitely
in
by
rough
the time
shape.
he gets to the Hulk, yeah, like
That's going to
I
be
mean, it
tough. And
doesn't
then the final
specify
3, if
which
we think
Hulk. Go on.
it's just the basic Hulk from comic books. I don't know.
Sure.
The last 3 would be Thor, Thanos with no Infinity Gauntlet, and then Sentry. And I don't think there's any way he clears those 3. I just don't. Not in a
No.
row.
I don't think so.
No, he probably doesn't make it past Thor.
No.
I think he gets stopped at the Hulk. I think that's a good stopping point.
I do too.
And I mean, he could if he was full power, maybe get over Hulk. But after having to go through She-Hulk and Gladiator, I don't think there's any way.
No. Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah,
there's your question.
Gladiator would be a tough fight in and of itself.
Sure.
I think so. Yeah, especially following a She-Hulk battle, unless he could somehow get lucky and take out She-Hulk early. But she's a Hulk.
Yeah.
Tends not to happen.
She is indeed.
So here we go. We're gonna do we're in the last stretch here. We're gonna say what
All
are we
right.
watching, what are we playing, what are we enjoying. I'll lead us off here. You might have seen some Elden Ring videos. I've posted 6 Elden Ring videos of me playing. It's a Souls-like game. Everybody knows what Elden Ring is by now, but it's a punishing action game that really likes to kill you a lot. And I'm proof of that. If you've watched any of my videos, I do die a significant amount of time. I have played a lot more than where I'm at in the videos. I am currently, I believe, level 62, and I've put 48 hours into this game at this point, which I understand for some people that is a mere drop in the bucket compared to these multi-hundred hours that people will play with it. I'm having a really good time with it. I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm way over leveled for the areas I've gone back to after struggling uphill for a while. So now when I'm going through, I'm having a much better time against some very difficult foes because it's not taking me nearly as many hits to defeat them. And I'm having a blast. I think this game is absolutely, I see why it won Game of the Year. I wouldn't say I've been hating on it, poo-pooing it or whatever, but there's been a part of me that said, why does this capture imagination where maybe Dark Souls only captures a fragment of the people's imagination? And I get it now. Like, this is the most approachable one of these games. It's difficult. It throws curveballs at you constantly, intending to kill you and have a laugh. But it never feels cheap, or if it does, you easily dodge the thing the next time, So that's sort of where we're going with it. That's me and Elden Ring. We got a lot more videos. We'll put them up on the feed. I hope you guys are enjoying them. We will probably at some point put up like a Game with Ray YouTube channel, and we'll get all those videos online for the people to enjoy.
Nice.
All right. Well, I like
that's
to
what's up.
start things off with what I'm watching with the family. A little family endorsement out there
Always.
for everyone. And we watched, this isn't what I want to talk about. We've finished the entirety of Friends. And my
about that?
12-year-old
Okay.
was like, now can we watch Stranger Things? Because all of my friends have watched Stranger Things and I'm left out. And we're like, okay, so we're 2 seasons in. Now I've obviously watched the entirety of it, but yeah, we're 2 seasons in, and I'm like, you know what? I really still enjoyed this quite a bit. It's really fun. My youngest might be turning out to be a serial killer. I'm not sure. She's not dealing well.
Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Nick, what are you enjoying right now?
Game-wise, the one that I most recently completed that I had a lot of fun with was Terminator, The Resistance, I believe it's called, Terminator Resistance, and you play in the dystopian future Terminator world as one of the resistance fighters, and it takes place before the events of the first movie. I don't know. It's time travel, so it's kind of, weird in that way,
I
but
get you.
it's cool. I mean, if you like the Terminator franchise, which I really do, even movies,
Sure.
I still have plenty fun with. It uses the original score, so you get that sort of like haunting music throughout it. It's pretty scary. On the first playthrough, when it's kind of on the medium level, the Terminators are not a threat. And then when you get to the higher level and you realize that, none of your regular weaponry works and you're low on ammo and they do a lot of damage to you, strategically, the game changes a lot at the harder difficulty. So I went back and played it again on the harder difficulty, still really enjoyed it. Then I played the DLC, which you get to play as a Terminator, hunting down all of the members of the Resistance, which is also really fun.
Oh, interesting.
So I mean, just as someone who really loves Terminator, I feel like it was made by people that also really love it and took the time to make something fun. And it's one of the better Terminator stories that has come out, and it's kind of like self-contained. So I really enjoyed that a lot. Watching wise, my wife and I are going back and watching Brothers and Sisters, which started airing in 2006 and ran for, I think, 6 seasons. And that was part of our project for our podcast, Hers, His, and Ours, where we watch our sort of favorite TV shows that we haven't seen of one another's. And so we started with that one. And then I'm going to make her watch the HBO series Oz, which I was watching at way too young of an age.
Yes.
And so I was like, we're going to go like very heavy on opposite ends of the spectrum there. And then we're watching Paradise season 2 is probably the show that we're like current-ish on right now.
Nice. There you go. I got a little bit more to add. I'm watching The Boys final season. I'm finally starting to get cranking on that. Really annoying me with The Boys social media team, because they'll drop an episode and then an hour later they'll say like, we are saddened to announce the demise of this character. And it's like, I haven't even watched it yet. Give me the 48-hour rule or something. It is very annoying. But I mean, to be fair, if you're going into the final season of The Boys and you're not of the understanding that a lot of people are going to get killed, especially the bad guys, I don't know what show you've been watching if your expectations are not right there. I think it's a lot of fun. The thing I like about The Boys is like, it's an absolutely dystopian, terrible world to be in every time you kind of learn backstory and what's happening in this world. But what a fun world to be a part of. Like, really, I feel the same about Game of Thrones. I like Game of Thrones. I would hate to live there, but I really like going there as a tourist for an hour at a time. And just being a part of this crazy world, it is a lot of fun. I think that shows a lot of fun. Is it over the top violent? Yes. Is it very disturbing? Is it grotesque? Every chance it can get. But my goodness, there's a soul in there. There's a heart, and it absolutely is a lot of fun to be there. So I recommend The Boys. The comic book, I'll say it. I've said it a million times. The show's better than the comic book. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Brave,
Agreed.
maybe, but I don't think that's even a brave statement at this point. The show softens a few of the edges, if you can believe it, and isn't as one note as the comic book is. I'll say that.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I've been watching
a few
that
seasons
too. I think I
behind,
have 2 episodes left.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Very nice. Very nice.
And
Yeah, I'm about
never
halfway through the
seen-
season, I think, so it's good.
Nice. Oh, then I won't. I was gonna say you've probably never seen so much blood come out of somebody's bottom, but maybe that's a spoiler. I'm sorry, Ray.
I have seen that scene.
It may happen again.
And
I
I know
think
what you're
there's several
saying. and
scenes.
Dear Lord, the show likes to go for it when they decide to
gosh.
go for it.
Yeah.
That's great. Sam, any last things you've seen?
Yeah, I got one more. Almost in honor of this episode, I finished up Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, and
Very
while
nice.
I
I'm watching
enjoyed
that
it,
too, but not finished.
yeah, Yeah, I enjoyed it, but I think season 1 was just better, and maybe I just was more able to focus on it. Where this one felt like there was more interesting story stuff that they wanted to tell you, but it was marketed to me like this was going to be a 3-way kaiju battle for 6 episodes, and that didn't happen quite the way I thought it was going to. So for me, a little bit of a letdown. Still entertaining, great cast, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe season 1 was the good season.
That's fair. I got one more thing I want to shout out. A new video game just dropped from the people at Supermassive Games. Those are the people who brought you Until Dawn, the Dark Pictures anthology, and The Quarry. A new game, Directive 8020. It just came out in the last week. I have personally bought it. I have not started playing it yet. I absolutely will. It's a story-based horror game where your choices sort of and your quick time events kind of decide if your characters live or die. And this particular one takes place in space on I believe a spaceship or a space station, and it's
Cool.
sort of a send up of The Thing. So the monster can mimic the people all around you and your crew and all the other characters you know, and so it is very much trying to get through that type of a situation. The Supermassive people, they do really good work, and I've been looking forward to Directive 8020 for about 3 years now. They've gotten other side projects in the way. So if you're into that kind of thing, if you liked Until Dawn, consider supporting. I don't get anything off of this. I don't work for them or anything. I'm just a fan of their work. But consider supporting Directive 8020. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, I've seen some ads for
Nice,
that.
nice.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a fan of. I've played all of their games. I played Dark Pictures Anthology, all 4 of them so far. I just finished a second playthrough of The Quarry for our Game with Ray segment. I'm playing a game called Little Hope with one of the guests of the show recently. So we have a lot of cool stuff happening. But
Have you
that
played
is-
Reanimal yet?
it's on my list. It's on my wish list. I have not played it yet. Recommend?
Me either. No, I've played the Little Nightmares franchise, and so it's a game that my sister and I played together, and so she was wanting me to get it, and I'm just like, yeah, I have it in the back of my mind. I just haven't done it yet. So
I got you.
I was
I
just
will say-
curious if you had a review of it.
I have not played that one yet. It's definitely on my radar. I did play Blood Mall Retaped, the indie horror slop game. And absolutely, I made a video of it, the entire playthrough. It's up on our Patreon right now, patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters. I believe it's under an hour, or right around an hour to play through the entire thing, and that's with me dying a bunch of times. And am I a QA professional? Did I break this game while I played it? I absolutely did. Yes.
Well done.
I always
Well done.
break everything I play. Yep. Yeah. I break everything. So you'll see all the above. If you want to go check that out, it is a bizarre, silly, fun horror slop game. Blood Mall Retaped, currently on Patreon. Last thing to say, movie night. Last movie night we watched Hard Target. That was a lot of fun. We do want to get another movie night in before the end of May. It's probably going to be right up against the end of it because I'm going out of town and a bunch of other stuff's going on. Look for a movie night. We'll be plugging it on the Patreon and the socials as soon as we can. But I want to talk before we get out of here. Well, real quick, Nick, thank you very much for being a part of the show. Why don't you give people your socials? Tell them where they can get to you. I'll give the next battle, and Sam will get us out of here.
You can find me mostly on Instagram these days at Bad Movies We Love, spelled LUV. I'm on Twitter too, technically, but really I just sort of like promote the show there. I don't really like spend that much time on Twitter these days. Bad Movies We Love is the show now that has several sub-series attached to it, including Bad Movie Futures, Ray, which you were a part of when we talked about Bone Lake from last year, and all of the wonderful relationship intricacies and the accuracy of a certain crossbow-wielding villain in the forest.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a...
If you know, you know. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. If you know, you know. And if not, check out some clips that I posted and you can hear Ray's wonderful description of said event. But yeah, the show basically right now I'm getting caught up on a bunch of Bad Movie Futures episodes. So it's all stuff from last year. And then we're planning our little superhero party for June and July, which June is going to be sort of outside of the popular stuff. So we've got The Shadow, Ang Lee's Hulk, Hancock, and Speed Racer are going to be those four. And then I'm still setting up the sequels month after that, which it'll be all super sequels, which I think Superman 3 is in there. I think Superman Returns is also going to be in there, the Brandon Routh version of the movie. And then Blade Trinity was floated, and Punisher Warzone. So,
well, here's the deal. If you need somebody to talk
slate.
about Punisher Warzone, that is one of my all-time favorite movies.
Awesome.
I am a big fan of the Punisher. I'm a big that is to me the greatest Punisher piece of media that exists outside of the comic books. So I'm not trying to say if you've already got a guest lined up, you got to do your own thing. I missed the Virtuosity episode, so if I did not advocate myself for the Punisher Warzone episode, I would be doing a disservice to my own brand.
Yeah, well, there was somebody who was theoretically lined up, and then I have not heard back from them. So it might be yours for the taking.
Might be happening.
It might.
Great. Love to hear it. I got a lot to say about that movie because it is brilliant.
All right, good.
There it is. All right. So here we go. Our next battle. I'm very excited to have this guest. We have not seen this guest on even the previous iteration. This is a brand new guest. You've not seen them on Who Would Win Masters. So Eve Esquire, one of the smartest debaters, one of the smartest people in the room, Eve Esquire, is going to be joining us. She has had some very controversial decisions in the past as a judge. And so we're going to see how that looks as a debater. The battle that we're going to be doing is Boba Fett from Star Wars versus Teela from the Masters of the Universe He-Man saga. So we're going to have a super-powered character against a character with heavy tech from the future. A nice little change-up, a nice little contrast of styles. Boba Fett versus Teela with Eve Esquire. Look for it next week.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's going to be cool. All right. Well, Nick, thank you again for joining us. Ray, thanks. And we are closing the book on this battle, but keep posting your comments. Jump over to our Who Would Win Masters Discord and let us know who you think really walked away with it. Watch the Patreon for future polls, Game with Ray videos, and that is where you can show us your support for the show and unlock even more features. So head over to patreon.com/whowouldwinmasters. And my birthday's coming up May 24th. That's this Sunday. So instead of buying me something, why don't you just jump over to the Patreon, sign up for free? There you go. Best thing you can do. I mean, also you could send me money. I could use it. No, anyway. If you think you've got what it takes to step into the challenger's chair, record a 1-minute video demo of yourself, send that to whowouldwinmasters@gmail.com, and we might see you across from Ray in a future episode. We want to take a moment to thank all of our new Patreon members, Ash, Snappy, Keith B, and a shout out to all of the awesome people who support the show on Patreon. Thank you to Ryan S., Dylan G., Chosen, Michael S., Matthew Dawson, Deshaun D., Ollie Lowe, William Schmidt, Douglas R., Nathan78, Eric Hiding, Lord Moxford, Forbidden Mob, Lord Sturts, and of course, Delvin Cox. Next week, we're back in the arena with a brand new battle for Who Would Win Masters. This is Sam Proof. Stay strong, and we'll see you in the arena.